if I go there and again it's the same problem that I'm not loving my program, you
Yes.
know? Like I was doubting myself. And while doubting, I was like, no, I don't need to doubt myself. The only thing I can do is to get prepared, right?
Mhm.
And then I was like, okay, this is something I'm going to do anyways, because I need to do something. And if I'm not sure what I'm going to do, still I know that I'm going to make it, or still I'm doing something I love.
Mhm.
It's going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to the Voice Podcast, the podcast for students by students. And I'm so happy to see you again. And I'm sure you're going to learn a lot and find a lot of meaning in this episode because today we are talking to you, college student of St. Lawrence College or any college you're watching, about mental health, a bit of introduction about mental health awareness. We will talk about stress as a student, anxiety, overthinking. Sometimes we might feel like we're not ready enough and we have a lot of imposter syndrome, like we call it, or we are just at the breaking point where we hit rock bottom, talking about depression. And we're going to close a bit about burnout, why we feel so burnout. And to talk about that today, we have two students of St. Lawrence College, as always, and they're wonderful, they're lovely, they do a lot, and they have a lot of stories to share about all what I just mentioned. So we'll start with Sneha. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Sean, for that wonderful introduction. Hi, I'm Sneha. I'm a fourth semester healthcare administration student. I work for Wellness Care Center and I also lead a Thrive Community Club. In the Wellness Care Center, work as a Thrive intern, where I work with Kathy, a wonderful person. We try to provide a non-judgmental safe zone for students who want to express themselves. With all the different mental health the issues, a lot of students don't find that safe zone, so that's what we do. We provide safe space for you to express yourself and to connect to other students as well.
And we have Daksh, who has been like, we wanted to do an episode since a year, I believe, about a lot of stories which he wanted to share. And I think now we have found the best episode. And most important, ready.
yep. Thank you so much, Sean,
You're
for
welcome.
that
Thank you.
lovely introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Daksh Hardik Kumar Bhavsar, and I'm a St. Lawrence student currently in my fifth semester of advanced biotechnology. Always excited. And I work for the student associations as a secretary to the board of directors, where we help students to make sure that they are having a holistic environment at St. Lawrence. And today I'm excited to talk about mental health, making sure everyone's feeling happy. And let's get it started.
Absolutely. So, and I will always ask this, like, how are you feeling today? Like, you already answered, like, to talk about this topic. And to start, we're going to talk about stress. Like, how is your stress right now? Like coming on a podcast for the first time. Is it that intimidating of a thought or is it relaxing actually?
It is kind of intimidating because
Yeah.
I've never had any
Mm-hmm.
kind of experience of this way,
Mm-hmm.
but it is kind of also familiar to talk about this because
Yeah.
that is what I have been doing for so
Mm-hmm.
long. And yeah, right now my stress levels are like not there yet, but I am a little stressed, but yeah, not as much as it would have been if I'm not
Yeah.
prepared for it.
How about you, Daksh?
Talking about me, before coming to this podcast, I did one thing which I do anything which I always do when I'm doing something new, which I called my dad. Told him that your son's
Yeah.
going for a podcast and he's excited, and my dad was very happy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "That's something you really wanted to do." So I made him proud before coming here, and before joining you in this room, I went to the team of SA. As you know, you work
Yeah.
for them. You know how
Yeah.
good they are. I went to the SA and I was feeling lovely in the morning.
Mhm.
And coming here right now, I'm feeling, fantastic, I would say.
Well, that's such a wonderful, heart touching moment because I really love creating moments for students, but also for the guests coming in to be the most relaxing way to come in, and I'm glad that you were able to share this with your father, and also the team, which is your support system, maybe the essay. And so, what is stress like? How as a student, like, let's talk a bit about that. How what does that mean? Like, you being at Thrive, Sneha, what are the main causes of stress to students?
Uh, I think there are a lot of causes for stress, and one of the things that I've come across is the
Mhm,
change that we go through when we enter this college
mhm,
or when we leave our country, like especially for the international students when they
mhm.
leave their country and come here. The change
Yeah,
is a huge factor, and getting adjusted here. And once we get adjusted, the class starts, and everything that has a little change and that causes a little stress to the students. If we are not able to manage it, it can trigger a lot of things. So, yeah. I think the change and the challenges that we go through as a student.
okay. And for you, Daksha, being on the board also, like, what are your
Uh,
sentiment about the main
I
causes of
see.
stress?
Stress, according to me, is something, I feel stress when my things are not completed on the given time I want to be. You know,
Hmm.
I feel stress when my things are piled up.
Yeah.
I feel stressed when I wanted to do something, but I'm not doing. And what I think is stress is something, you feel like you want to do something, but you're not doing it because
Hmm.
there's something in your head or something. It's like a worry before doing a task. For
Yeah.
example, uh, as she said she's not stressed right now, but she was a little stressed in the podcast. It's
Yeah.
like not being enough ready for something,
Hmm.
or even if you're ready, you feel that a little kind of a fear of
Yeah.
something new. I would say
Yes.
Yeah.
that is what I think
Yes.
about stress for me.
Hmm. And what would be like some actions that you take in your daily lives, or you've seen students take, that can help into managing their stress?
Yeah. If the you know the cause of the stress, if you know the cause of the stress, one thing that you can do is be prepared for it. I You can take help, ask for help, be prepared for
Hmm.
it. And if that's not helping, one
Yeah.
thing that I usually do is take deep breaths. That helps out a lot. Take
Hmm.
a moment, take some deep breaths, and
Yeah.
center yourself, and that might actually help. Taking deep breaths is a big thing. Not many people do it because
Yeah.
when you're stressed, it automatically increases the rate of your breath. You take a lot of breaths, but
Hmm.
you need to take that one deep breath and let go.
Yeah.
That's what I think I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I do.
How about you,
Yeah,
Daksh?
exactly. To be honest, exactly similar. Before my
Yeah.
exams, I'm always stressed, like always stressed. And what I do is, I just take my time. I just be away from my class for a little
Hmm.
while, close my eyes, keep my things aside, and I try not to even read. Even if I know that I'm not enough prepared, I try not to read for the last moment.
Hmm.
I keep my things away, close my eyes, take a deep breath, and I even pray. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm a person who likes to pray. I
Hmm.
pray for a while, and what I ask is in my prayers that I don't know how it's going to be, if it's going to be hard, it's going to be
Hmm.
easy. Provide me the strength. That's
Yes.
what I pray of.
Hmm.
And there are other ways. What I do is I try to complete, like, as I told earlier, that I like when my things are piled up, I feel stress. So I always write down my tasks. I'm always ready for my day. I prepare
Hmm.
for the day and I
Yeah.
just keep clicking it off.
Hmm.
That's what I do. And if my things are done, and if my things are, that's the way I try not to get stressed and complete my task and be silent. That's what I do when I'm stressed. Just be calm.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a big challenge. Like, you can be silent, but the silence is not here.
Yeah.
And I think this is where, yeah, like you mentioned, both of you having that breathing exercise, and for you, Daksh, also praying. It gives you that moment where to calm and to refocus and get that strength that you pray for. One advice which I can give before doing something stressing, probably I will sing, which I probably did before the recording of this. So it will be in some bloopers episode, but surely I love to sing. I think it's a good breathing exercise because singing requires you to breathe a lot, and plus you're singing about joyous things. It could be also singing about sad things, singing a bit
Yes.
off key. Don't expect big singing skills from me, but off key. A lot of singing. Another way to manage stress is to, I think, uh, praying. I'm a believer. I believe. I have faith, but I don't pray a lot. So for people who don't pray a lot like me, one thing which I do is journal at night, and I write what things I'm grateful for, or I try to live by this motto: what opportunity did I give to myself today? So I write those down, and then when I'm writing, and then it's time to go to sleep, and sleeping on a positive note. And I wake up in the morning, I open, I say, this is what I did yesterday. I'm going to do likewise today if I can, to the best of my. So it helps me, like, I did things yesterday and I'm going to do things again today. It's just going to happen. So that's my solution. I really find it great. And anything, any story which, like, in your life where you felt a bit stressed, like, and you couldn't manage it, and then you found like you overcame that?
Yeah. For me, last time when
Hmm.
the winter started and I wasn't prepared for it. I
Hmm.
wasn't, I mean, I know, of course, Canada is going to be really
Yeah.
cold, but I wasn't, the fall was kind of like a little, it's kind of like refreshing, but at the same time it caused me to be a little sad because of all the leaves, like all the leaves are gone and
Hmm.
everything is turning a little
Hmm.
grayish. And yeah, so for me, I, because of me not being prepared for it, it caused me a little stress. So
Yeah.
what I did was to be able to understand, and to I just went for walks
Yeah.
to, and I talk with people around me how they are feeling, and to be able to relate, with
Hmm.
each other and to understand what is going on. It kind of gave me a little, a little stress relief. I don't
Hmm.
know, to be able to relate, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Yeah, but now I'm more prepared and I'm not that stressed.
I see.
And for you, do you any stories?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so a long time ago, I would say like 3 years or something. Before coming to Kingston, I was in British Columbia. Okay,
Mhm.
I was in a university, but my course was not taking me to places where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to quit that place and I need to do something which I like.
Yeah.
So I applied in so many colleges, like because I was already in British Columbia in a university, and like my parents and like my family's here, like not my mom and dad, but like my other parts of my family, like my uncle, my cousins, and everyone is over here
Mhm.
in Canada. So what happened that I wanted to change my program to a place that I wanted to be, or something which I like to do, like biotechnology. That's something I like
Yeah.
to get knowledge of.
Mhm.
So then I applied for biotechnology at St. Lawrence,
Mhm.
and I also applied to two different places. But I was not sure that what if I go there and again it's the same problem that I'm not loving my program, you
Yes.
know? Like I was doubting myself. And while doubting, I was like, no, I don't need to doubt myself. The only thing I can do is to get prepared, right?
Mhm.
And then I was like, okay, this is something I'm going to do anyways, because I need to do something. And if I'm not sure what I'm going to do, still I know that I'm going to make it, or still I'm doing something I love.
Mhm.
It's going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
So I applied for biotechnology at St. Lawrence, but I was already here in Canada, and being an international student, so we need to worry about our study permit, changing the study permit,
Yeah.
doing it's a big thing, and it's a big mess.
Mhm.
So what happened that I was waiting for my offer letter, and I
Yes.
also had to change my study permit, and I also had to leave my other university.
Mhm.
So that period where I was, or in that black or in that dark time, okay,
Mhm.
I was superly stressed. I was so stressed that, oh my god, where I am, I don't know what I'm doing,
Mhm.
and I feel like stuck. And I call my parents that
Mhm.
guide me something or tell me what I should do, and they're like,
Yes.
see, if you're doing something, give it their own times, like leave it on it, like just
Yeah.
leave the things and just focus on the tasks you are doing, rather than focusing on the problems which is gonna create a trouble for you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and I left all those things and everything was good then, and everything started falling out into the places where it should be
Mhm.
once I stopped thinking about the thing which was bothering me. And here I am in Kingston at St. Lawrence.
Well, just hats off to you, for overcoming that challenge, that stressing moment in your life. And I think your parents were great guidance.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you don't know where to get the answers, look at people that are the closest to you. They know you, like, apart from you, they know you the best.
Surely.
Yeah.
Like, what I think is, there are some people who are here in our college cafeteria, right? There's a person called Marjorie. Perfect. That's a good time to talk about her, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Every day in the morning, there are two people. I used to work there as well for a short period of time.
Yeah.
So there are two people, Donna and Marjorie.
Mhm.
They're like my grandmothers, okay?
Yeah.
They have such a big, wonderful smiles. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They make my day every day. So I don't call my parents if my school's not going good, okay? Because I don't want to stress them out right now. I'm 22 already, like
Yeah.
I don't want to call my parents like, hey, dad, I'm not doing good in my studies. I don't want to do that right now because he's having a good business there. He's doing a great job in some photography he's doing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to disturb his life. Neither my mom's because she's an artist as well.
Yeah.
So what I do is I go to Donna and Marsha, hey, I need your help. Donna, I'm not doing good at school. So you know what she does? She pampers me. Hey, hon, you'll be all right. And I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm feeling good. And I go to classes. And I do wonderful.
Yeah.
And there's never an exam I have been since I've known her that I've not seen her or asked them, hey, Donna, wish me all the best. I go and ask her that. You to tell me that,
Yeah.
And she wishes me. And I'm like, okay, perfect. That's my day now. I always talk to someone who's elder than you or always talk to someone you feel like they're gonna make your day positive, like they both always make my day positive. Like they're super good human being. And yes, even if you guys see them, the one who are watching this podcast, go and say hi to Marjorie. Donna doesn't work there here right now, but go and say hi to Marjorie and tell them Doc sent you there and she's gonna be the most happiest person you could ever see.
Well, it's wonderful, because sometimes we have those people which we meet in our everyday life, and sometimes being so stressed, we rush, like you see me rushing every time and then. So like I don't have time sometimes to interact, and those are little moments with those wonderful people that makes life wonderful, I believe, and just smooths us into like a calm space so that we can move our day forward. And they're also essential. I always love the people at the CAF or at St. Larry's, they're all like, or at the SA, the front desk, those little interactions that makes, like the life of a student so much better, and your friends as well. And talking about that, there's also the feeling of a lot of overthinking also, like in the life of students. Tell us a bit about what overthinking is in your life. Like,
All right, so talking about overthinking, this is something I never do, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have seen my friends, I have a friend named Aditya Modi. He's in Vancouver. We were in the same, like, we left the university at the same point, me and Aditya. So Aditya, he had a habit. So what he does is, like, when he goes to bed, he was not able to sleep, like, I have never experienced that thing. Like, and not only him, I have seen so many people, even right now in Kingston, even my friends, what they tell is like, I can't sleep at night. I'm like, why? Because I keep overthinking. I'm like, what are you overthinking? That what I'll do in future, what I'll do now, what I'm gonna do next, what I'm gonna do tomorrow, what is gonna be in my exam, what is gonna be. If they even stress about small things, they get like they start overthinking,
Yeah.
And you know what I tell them is like, see, you don't know what's tomorrow's gonna bring to you. What you can do is just sleep. Like, I've never been overthinking things. I only think what is needed. And sometimes if I feel I'm overthinking, I keep overthinking if it's in a positive way. If it's something positive, I'll keep overthinking. If it's something negative, I just stop. I have never overthink in my like. Of course, I have done, but I try never to, because once I go to bed, I'm like, I don't want to think anything. I just want to be grateful. Like, hey, it was a great day. I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
How about you, Sneha? Do you have a different perspective of
Oh
overthinking?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am an overthinker, but I don't think I don't think it has to be negative though.
Mhm.
Because for me overthinking sometimes, like, there should be a limit, okay? There should be a
Mhm.
limit. So sometimes overthinking can lead to like imaginary scenarios where you where you might end
Yeah.
up somewhere else. But yeah,
Yeah.
but for me, most of the times overthinking helps me because
Yeah.
I what I do is I always put it on a paper. I
Mhm.
always put it on a paper and try to be realistic about it. When you overthink, most of the times it's all imaginary scenarios, right?
Yeah.
When you put it on a paper and try to relate to it and be realistic about it, most of it will go away
Okay.
because you will be able to
Mhm.
reason to yourself.
Mhm.
So most of it will go away, and the things that are remaining will make you be aware of what is going on around you. So for me, overthinking helps. It doesn't have to be completely negative in a negative light,
Mhm.
but sometimes, yes, a lot of my friends also stay up in the night overthinking. So in that moment, if we just say don't overthink, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for sure. But what I do is help in the process of thinking.
Mhm.
Maybe if they want suggestions or if they want to talk about it,
Yeah.
provide that space for them. And if they're still overthinking, just be there for them
Yeah.
and try to be like, yeah, try to give them suggestions or
Mhm.
try to give whatever they need at that time.
Yeah.
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 Just like
And
petting their back. Just it's gonna be all right. Just go to bed.
If that's
yeah.
what they need.
Yeah, so big time overthinker here,
Yeah.
myself, and what overthinking is to me is like probably when you have too much expectations
Yes.
of yourself, and also trying to idealize
Yes.
the best scenario. So
Uh-huh.
you're already putting yourself into a disadvantage, I would say, as an overthinker, because you're putting an image that's so great, so beautiful of yourself that you're not giving the justice to the present into
Mhm.
like making that image happen, and it
Mhm.
won't be picture perfect,
Yeah.
I should say. My way to solution how I came to reduce my overthinking over time is by doing things which makes me uncomfortable, and I think it's a good transition to imposter syndrome. I guess to talk about how imposter syndrome is like.
Yeah.
We have the skills, we have a physical capabilities to do it,
Mhm.
we have a support system to do it, people who are here ready, and the system, everything is good, but we don't do it.
Yeah.
So, Daksh, I think you're very excited to talk about that. Start
I
here,
am very
please.
excited. First thing, I
Mhm.
want to relate some things to you. Okay.
Mhm.
As you said in the end, journey might be tough,
Mhm.
but you know what? If you're doing something you love it,
Mhm.
you're gonna love the journey. Because right now I'm in the same place you are. I came here for biotechnology, but in the end, I'm like, God, no, I want to do my dreams. Like till my 10th grade, I was a dancer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
yeah, I used to
Yeah.
dance, and but my parents were like, hey, you need to focus a little bit on studies. They didn't support, like they were not like against it, but they were like,
Yeah.
focus a little on studies and do it.
Yeah.
And there was the same thing with me.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I am doing this biotechnology,
Mhm.
earning some money and something. Then I'm following my dreams, modeling and everything. But yeah, coming back to this thing,
Yeah.
imposter syndrome. This is something I would say is, you know, it's a very awkward feeling. What I think
Yeah.
is that you are not being like you feel you're not qualified for doing this. For
Mhm.
example, if you're writing a journal and you might be feeling like, oh, that's not a good handwriting. I don't want to write it. Like
Mhm.
just small things or something. It's for someone. And I also think this is a good thing as well on the other
Mhm.
side because this is something you might be, if you take it in a positive way and if you think you're not qualified for it and if you work for those things for yourself,
Mhm.
you might become a little perfectionist for that thing. That's what I think of.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many
Yeah.
things like being a kid. Like I was a very slow writer, okay?
Yeah.
And I was
Still.
like a talkative person. Right now I'm in a
Yeah.
podcast. The same thing in school. I used to have fun. I used to have like mocking my
Mhm.
friends and having fun and not paying enough attention in classes. But my mom, like every Indian mom or every
Yeah.
mom tells their kid or every teacher tell to their parents, to our parents that, hey, your son or your daughter is good at studies, but he's not doing it. This is I've
Yeah.
heard this is what I've heard all the
Yeah.
time. In my 11th grade, I got such a bad percentage. I got like a 40. 5%, and that's bad. Okay, I took like a science background in 11th grade in India, and I got a 45 percentage, and I was like, oh my god, this is very bad.
That's the worst you got?
Oh yeah, that's
Man,
what.
I got
It-
8.
I mean,
8% sometimes.
I mean,
Like
I got
me,
okay.
Oh.
I
champion.
okay. I got 8 out of
Yeah.
70 in my
Yeah.
physics because I slept in
Yeah.
an exam.
Oh.
Okay, let's not talk about that. Okay, but later, as then I worked on myself because my
Mhm.
teachers told my parents that he can study, but he's not studying. And the same guy who got like 45 in 11th grade got like a 80 in 12th grade.
Yeah.
That was a big achievement for
Mhm.
me at that
Mhm.
point. Like being 17 and achieving something which I was bad at it and getting good at it.
You
was
were
something-
lazy, man. Like
Sorry?
you were.
Yeah.
I was lazy too. Like,
I
hey,
was-
that's the reason I was getting bad grades. Like, probably a lot of mental health shit, but I was a bit lazy. I was more interested in playing soccer back then.
Oh, you love soccer?
I love soccer.
Ronaldo, right?
Huh?
Ronaldo, right?
The big Ronaldo. Fan of a big Ronaldo, Brazilian guy, my
Yeah.
favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
Sneha, tell us a bit about, like stories which you heard of from students or yourself, like about imposter syndrome, where you doubted yourself
Oh,
to do
I
this.
know where my imposter syndrome started from, like what
Okay.
age. So as Daksh mentioned, when we were in our +1, +2, so we, especially in India, we go through a lot of stress because we are
Why is
under
that?
we
I
are
always
under-
wanted to ask this question.
Oh yeah, because that's where our whole lives are decided for us.
Okay.
That's where we decide our stream on where we are
Which
going.
age is
to.
that?
I
Specifically?
think it's
16 to 17.
16, 17.
Okay.
So that's
Mhm.
where we decide our whole lives by ourselves because apparently we are given the choice. So,
But you're not.
No, we are not. So, yeah, and I chose to do the science. I went
Yeah.
into the science field. So the standards that were on us were like impossible for us to achieve,
Mhm.
and I used to get good marks, okay, average
Yeah.
marks. I used to get like 80% all the time.
Mhm.
And whenever I was in a hostel, so I was in a residential school. So whenever I used to call my mom, my parents, I used to tell them, hey, I got this many marks in this test. And they'll be like, oh, maybe it's just a fluke, or maybe it's just luck.
That's not
Try
nice.
hard, try work harder, you'll get more.
Yeah.
So that's the basic, the foundation for my imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
How much ever I
Yeah.
work hard, I feel like I
Mhm.
haven't done enough. I haven't done enough, and whatever I'm getting through my work,
Mm.
it's because of my sheer luck. And sometimes because people love me and they just do some things for me, just like that. It's not
Yeah.
because of my work, it's
Yeah.
what goes through my mind. And after coming here, I got to know that it is called imposter syndrome. I didn't know that there is a
Mhm.
name for it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So whenever I talk to Kathy from Wellness Care, she used to tell me, okay, this is imposter syndrome. And
Mhm.
what do you want me to do for you to not feel that way? That's what she used to ask.
Mhm.
And that's when I thought, like, what can be done for me to not feel that way? So I
Mhm.
used to think, I'm a big writer. So
Mhm.
what I do is I sit down, I write what I achieved and what I did for it.
Mhm.
And it gives, when you write things down, it gives you a good, fresh perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what helped me. That's what helped me understand that whatever I'm getting, whatever I'm achieving, it's because of my hard work and not because of luck and not because
Mhm.
people like me. They don't, I mean, they do like me, but then it's not because of that.
Yeah.
To get that understanding, to get that self realization, it's a process. It will take time, but yeah.
And there's one thing which you mentioned earlier, like where your imposter syndrome
Yeah.
comes from. How would students who are listening to this, like any activity which they can do to know where it stems out? Because sometimes we need to know our solution. We need to know our cause. Like,
Yeah.
how did you come to that realization?
Happened because of a conversation I was having with my friend.
Mhm.
I got the job in the college,
Mhm.
and I got it like after the interview. I got it within like half an hour.
Yes.
And when I got the job, and I was like, oh, it's because maybe I volunteered here, and because maybe Kathy likes me a lot. I think that's why she got me a job. and
Mhm.
and then they showed me a rubric as
Yeah.
the interview rubric, and
Mhm.
why I scored, how much I scored, and why I scored it as well. And I was discussing about this with my friend, and she
Yeah.
was telling me her experience and how she felt, and how like I was able to relate to it. I was
Mhm.
able to relate to it and understand it more. The more you discuss about it, the more
Mhm.
you talk about it, and the more you express, and I think the more understanding you get about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how.
And so to talk to me a bit about me, the imposter syndrome. So when I arrived in Canada, I wanted to start a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
I decided after the pandemic, because I got laid off,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
do something else. So digital marketing was a booming because everything was turning online. So I say,
Yes.
oh, there's an opportunity there. For
Mhm.
me. So the thing is, like, unlike my classmate, I didn't have a portfolio of marketing experience or any background in that. So I said, oh, I needed to start a YouTube channel, a social media to showcase my skills, because
Mhm.
that would be the best way. Because if I don't have experience, at least I use it for myself and
Mhm.
build a portfolio. I was always like, pressing that recording, like, or like uploading. I was like, I never do it
Mhm.
because of a fear. Again, you can relate imposter to overthinking, because
Mhm.
overthinking,
Yeah.
it will not do well.
Mhm.
But now, uh, I found a job which makes me, you have to do it. Now I feel ready. I feel like I want to upload vertical videos, like to create my own
Mhm.
Instagram,
Mhm.
to basically help people into starting a journey, because that's the
Mhm.
most difficult, getting started and keeping that journey going. So,
Yes.
so I want to do that. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm going to beat my imposter syndrome of like finally creating a digital platform for myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I will
Wow.
leave a podcast soon, maybe. So yeah,
That is inspiring, right?
yeah.
That is inspiring, to know that you're doing something like for yourself,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and it's not for any external validation
Hmm.
and for anything else. It's
Yeah.
for yourself, and that is inspiring to me.
Oh, if you want
Hmm.
to inspire, you can see Sean. I was just talking about him before entering this room. Like, hey,
Hmm.
Sean, you know what, man? I've always seen you busy. And as we are today, we are talking about mental health.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun
Hmm.
episode because, you know, if you're busy, you won't be either depressed, you won't be
Hmm.
overthinking, you won't be stressed. If you need to be busy. And I've always seen this guy running with his two bags or running with his laptop bag or running with his either protein shake or going to the gym,
Uh-huh.
running down here
Yeah.
and there every time in the cafeteria. And while I see him running on the other side, I'm running to my classes with my lab books on my glass. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a
Yeah.
hurry. And it's always inspiring to see you.
No, I mean, I don't think it's relevant, but then I'm gonna say it. But
Yeah. Sure.
it's very easy to notice you around the corridors. It's
Oh yeah.
very easy to notice you. I don't know you personally, but I
Yeah.
know you because I see you everywhere all the
Yeah.
time. So
You're not the first person. It's like I don't know, like uh,
yeah.
and I'm starting to say like I don't notice anyone. So like I just run where I need to run
Yeah.
to make things happen, and that comment of going
Yeah.
unnoticed, I people notice me. It's maybe it's because of her hair or like something like that, or because of my way of walking. I'm like a
No,
Formula One car going all the way.
it's more like it's because you look like you're going somewhere to achieve something that's always there in you. The way you walk, the way you talk, it's always like that. It's always like,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like okay, he's gonna go do something really important. Yeah.
Yeah, that hair is definitely making a big thing. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this guy with curly long hairs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's Sean. He's Sean.
Yeah, but that's me. My name is Sean, if you haven't noticed. So yeah, we are above like probably 30, 40 episodes now. So if you haven't seen me yet, so yeah, maybe the last episode with me and will be an
Yes.
episode about me. So, but yeah, imposter syndrome is just like, yeah, and thank you so much, like just for your comment, like you say, like you notice me around, and for me it's very important for me, like people like see that I'm doing some things. It's
Mhm.
not looking for attention, not to say that,
Yeah.
it's more getting the recognition.
Mhm.
It's that tap on the shoulder,
Yes.
hey, I see you, you're doing
Yes.
something,
Earning
like
a respect, I would say.
yeah.
Like it's a big respect. Like
Hmm.
whenever I go early in the like what I do is like whenever I come in the morning, there are some people. So if some people are not feeling good, like whenever you see someone who is having equal energy or having
Mhm.
high energy,
Yeah.
you feel inspired. Like,
Yeah.
they make your day.
Yes.
It
Mm.
can be anyone. It can be anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even an old man going for a jog in the morning. I walk
You
to
know who I
college
like? Who gives me energy?
yeah,
Jim.
yeah.
Like the event guy. He sets tables everywhere and everything.
Oh,
Oh,
I know whom you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man, he is so in sync with
yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's get back and rewind and talk about the big one.
Oh,
The
Oh,
big one.
yeah.
The big
uh,
D. The depression.
big D of depression. Yeah,
Depression. Who wants to throw
I
themselves?
can go.
Yeah.
Depression. What I think is, to be honest, that's your tolerance. Like how much you can tolerate by going through things.
Mhm.
So there are people, like they might be going through hell. There are some paths. For example, uh, I would just talk about myself right now. Uh, I never wanted to do studies, right? I was all in my head. I always wanted to go for shoots. Like whenever I see a camera, I'm like a small child in front of
Mhm.
camera. I just get excited. I'm gonna pose. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
some weird poses. In my Instagram, like my Instagram is full of different weird poses. I never even. I, that's what I am. Anyways, so the thing is that I never wanted to do studies or something. Okay,
Mhm.
I always wanted to go into dancing. I always wanted to go into modeling. Always wanted to go for something like acting. Even if it was a side role, I would go for it. I'd give
Mhm.
my 100%. But as I said, like I come from a family where I'm not that fine. I was not at that point. I was not that financially stable, or
Mhm.
we were not that financially stable that
Yeah.
I could choose that path. And
Mhm.
my family is one of the best families I could. I'm so grateful that I
Yeah.
have born in that family, that they have always been supportive to me. And I think what my dad told me that if you want to pursue your dreams, do it. But before that, at least have a stable or have a good backup for yourself,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because I don't want you to struggle. Like every dad, no dad doesn't want his son or his daughter to struggle. My
Yeah.
dad's a professional photographer. Like he could definitely guide me into modeling. He could
Mm.
definitely like shoot me up with some
Mm.
big person, and he could definitely send me that route. But he didn't want to do, because he
Mhm.
wanted me to achieve something by myself as a backup plan for myself in a good way, so I
Mhm.
could study. And there was a part when I came here, okay, and not only choosing choosing a career, even some breakups are depressing. I'm coming to it, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I came here in Canada, okay, I was so lost, like an 18-year-old guy
Mhm.
leaving his family, coming in Canada. And I used to be in British Columbia, okay, and I came here in on 13th December, okay,
Okay.
2019. I remember the day. And in British Columbia, Prince George is the northern part of British Columbia. It was like minus 35, minus 40 at that point, okay?
Mhm.
And I came here in winters. I could not see, I could not even remember any roads,
Yeah.
okay? Because I could only see was snow.
Yeah.
And you know how winters are here in
Yeah.
Canada, and
Mhm.
like minus 40 is something
Yeah.
very difficult.
Mhm.
So one day, like, my phone, I was having an iPhone 6, and I charged at 100%. And while coming home, it was like, or I just went outside and I didn't even use it. It was like 90% when I left my university. I was
Mm.
coming home taking a
Mhm.
bus, and I had to walk after that taking a bus because I was still new. I didn't even knew how to use Google
Mhm.
Maps. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just left that my phone when I came, I was like, it was 0%. I was
Mhm.
lost in that road. Okay. I could not find my house. I was crying.
Oh.
And that night, I could not find my house, Sean, till like 1 hour in snow. Okay.
Oof.
Mhm.
And an
Mhm.
18-year-old guy, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
this is not struggle. I
Yeah.
loved it the other day
Yeah.
though. Okay. But that night I just got depressed so much. It was not because I was lost. It was because I was lost
Mhm.
in my mind that hey, why I'm here, what I want to do. It's not
Yeah.
making sense for me, man. I wanted to do
Mhm.
something. I wanted to choose a path where I loved it.
Mhm.
And at that point, okay, sorry mom, sorry dad, but if you're watching this, I need to talk about this. I'm very sorry. I had a girlfriend, okay?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I came here, she left me, okay?
Mhm.
She was just like, I don't want to be with you. And I was like, what is this? What is this going on? Okay?
Mhm.
That I chose a completely different career, okay? I'm here. Okay, I'm so I'm a person. If I'm doing something, I'm gonna do it. No matter what, if I'm crying, if I'm laughing, if I'm just on a fire or I'm anything, I'm going to do it because I'm supposed to do it. That's how I am.
Mhm.
And I was also in a part when that girl, okay, who I was, and it's not even her fault. It was
Mhm.
all mutual. I get it. She didn't
Yeah.
want to be with me. I take it in a good way.
Mhm.
But at 18, coming to a different place,
Mhm.
what I felt was if she wanted to do it, she could have even wait for some time, at least give me a month to settle.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And just in like 15 days,
Mhm.
it was a big difference. And I was in that zone and I took 6 months, okay, for everything to figure out what I'm doing, to
Mhm.
figure out what I need to do, to figure out why I'm doing.
Mhm.
On the, I just took 1 week then, okay,
Mhm.
figure out a job, found a job, and I started walking. Like, have you seen a movie that Forrest Gump
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right
Yeah.
now you can check my phone, okay? Every day I walk like 10 kilometers every day. Every
Okay.
single day.
Every
There's
single day.
every
That's
single
nice.
day.
Yeah.
That's my average.
Wow.
That's my average, okay?
Yeah.
I come to school walking. I go back home walking. I go
Uh-huh.
to job walking. I come back from job by walking. And from that day I started walking. I started believing in myself that hey, I don't need anybody, okay? I just need my parents. I
Mhm.
want to make them proud. And more than that, I want to make myself proud. And I started doing small things like cooking for myself, reading a book, you know, or talking to someone who is either elder than me or talking to someone who is either very young than me. Like uh, when I was here in Canada, there was just in Prince George, just our neighbor, they had a small kid.
Mhm.
Okay. I
Yeah.
used to go and just say hi to him, and that small hi,
Yeah.
makes your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, everything happens for a reason. And that bad phase, just for a month,
Mhm.
3 months, or
Mhm.
6 months, I
Yeah.
don't know how long it was, but
Mhm.
I was in that state that I didn't knew what was happening, but I was still surviving in it. I was tolerating it. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I even like my dad even gave me an option. See, if you don't like it, come back to India. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's a
Yeah.
big amount of
Yeah.
money. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm here, I
Yeah.
need to complete my task. Like, and yes, even I told him, hey, dad, I want to come back to India. What my dad told me, you know what? You want to come back to India? Just come back. But at least we have spent this much money. Take 10 days and roam whole Canada, enjoy whole Canada,
Yeah.
and then come back
Yeah.
to India. I'm like, this 10 days, I, and I lived in it. And I'm so thankful for that guy, my dad.
Mhm.
At today, whatever I am, okay,
Mhm.
all the motivation
Mhm.
Mhm.
is because of him. And I always want to be grateful for him that whatever I am, I'm all because of him. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that 6 month, okay, that depression or whatever it was, it just went away easily because I was focusing on my things.
Mhm.
I started being more organized. I started making good friends. I started making new connections. I started going out. I started walking. I started going to gym. I started so many different things.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
but it's not that one. It's not depression is not something that's only gonna come once. It might be coming again. So after 6 months, I was loving my life.
Mhm.
But I was like, everything is sorted now. I just need to get this graduate from here. But after 1 year, again, in the same, like after
Mhm.
one and a half
Mhm.
year in Prince George,
Yep.
I figured out, hey man, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And I came to Kingston. Even
Mhm.
that short period that I figured out that I don't want to do this
Mhm.
was depressing. Like,
Mhm.
why? Why is it only me? That
Mhm.
was the question I was telling to myself, like, why I think that I need to give up on this program or why I think that I need to leave this university.
Mhm.
But my mom told me that, hey, everything happens for a reason and it is always a good reason.
Yeah.
Okay. And trust me, Sean, if I never left British Columbia, I never thought that I would come to Kingston. I never thought that I would become a secretary to the board of directors. I would
Mhm.
never thought that I would be enough mature to deal with things. I would never thought that I would be more organizing to my work. I would never thought that I could be this responsible how I am today.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it is how it is. And just I just want to tell everybody that, guys, if you feel you are depressed or if you think you are just tolerating things, keep tolerating it. And there might be point you might be just bursting out things or you might be just giving away. So don't think that why is it only you? Just think that it is because it's for your betterment. Depression is a state of, what I think is that it is what's your tolerance, but all because of your betterment. Yeah, it's gonna make you better.
Mhm.
It is a state that gonna take you to a different. It's gonna make you completely different person.
You're grateful for your parents, and your dad is watching. What do you want to say to him right now?
I just want to tell him one thing. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do in life still, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna make you super proud, and you know, right? I'm your best son. I know you have two sons, me and my younger brother, but you know I'm the best, right? And yeah, I just want to tell you one thing, Dad. I love you, and he's like my best friend, you know? Yeah,
Mhm.
but I don't talk about girls to him. I don't talk about
Yeah.
alcohol to him.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that, okay? Yeah. Yeah, Dad, I just want to tell I love you. And yeah, thank you for always believing in me. He's like, you know, mitochondria is the powerhouse of of powerhouse of the cell. My dad is powerhouse in me. Like, you know how I talk to my dad? Like, sometimes when talking to my dad feels like I'm talking to my girlfriend, you know, like, hey, how was your day today? And my dad was like, my day was good. I did this, I did that. And the same thing, I did that. I did this, and I was here with this friends. I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And the reason I'm mentioning my dad is because, of course, he's my dad. And other thing is that I want all students to know, right?
Mm.
There are people here I've seen they don't have a good connection with their parents.
Mhm.
First thing is their parents, if you think you can make those connections better, do it.
Mhm.
Okay. And other thing, if you think that if you don't want to share it to your parents, share it to someone. There might be someone always happy to listen to you. Always. Okay.
Mhm.
It could be anyone.
Mhm.
And if you don't find anyone, just come and talk to me. I'll happy to listen to anybody to you guys. But yeah, just be motivated for the day. And there's nothing called depression. That's what I tell my friends and everybody, but it is.
Mhm.
I
It
think
isn't real.
yeah, and that's a very emotional monologue. Like emotional, it's not even it's you just expressed to us both here and also to people listening, like how many thousands and millions of students might feel around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, and that feeling of why always me, why am I alone in this situation? I think it's, if you ask, you go out, you ask the first 10%, I think 7 out of them would tell you they feel exactly like you. And I
Mhm.
I
think
know.
Mhm.
it's
Ev- e-
very,
Sorry.
yeah, no, no,
Everybody's going to relate to, because everybody's going through some or the other thing.
Yes.
mhm,
Either it is a bad job,
mhm,
either it is breakup, or
mhm,
either it is they don't have a good
mhm,
connection with their friends, or either
Mhm.
because what he or she is thinking about me.
yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
Sorry to
and
cut you off.
no worries. And I think one big takeaway that if we pause a moment, we are just everybody listening to this, to what is it like to talk to someone,
Mm.
like, and thinking like everybody, like not everybody, but like most people are feeling like you, is make an opportunity out of it, for not an opportunity I say in like a very, an opportunity to be human, to the
Yes.
next person you see,
Mhm.
because they might be in the same place. So really, like, give yourself that opportunity to be vulnerable,
Yes. Yes.
is to finally, that image which you're trying to tolerate, like you will be like this, you will be like that, or I'm not achieving this, I'm not achieving that, is there might be someone listening, and there might be more than someone, there might be a lot of people
Yes.
who wants to listen to you and to help you
Mhm.
and to take action. Like,
Yes.
the biggest thing is to take action. One takeaway also from your story, you took action. I cannot imagine the magnitude of you coming, any 18-year-old is,
Mhm.
take actions. You took action. You were 1 hour looking for your house, but you were looking for it.
Mhm.
You were not giving up. Battery,
Yes.
phone is dead. No maps, no orientation in a new place. You found it. You had the
Snow.
mental fortitude. You were rock bottom.
Mhm.
Uh, 15 days later, like, your girlfriend leaves you. It's so, so, so big. People, I think sometimes, many people, we are like highly emotional people takes time to heal
Yes.
from breakups, and it's not like some people move on like in 3 days.
Mhm.
Some people it's hard because you put your emotions into things and
Sure.
into something which we thought was special, like
Mhm.
something bigger than you. You have someone in your life which are going to do something, and to deal with all of this, finding a job, getting maybe simple things like your SIN number, your phone number,
Mhm.
opening your bank account, doing all that as an 18-year-old coming into winter, living from a climate which
Mhm.
is 35 degrees plus Celsius, 40 to coming here to minus
Exactly.
35. You you completely reverse your life upside down. That's what you did as an 18-year-old. And not just you, but I think a lot of students, anyone can relate to the your real life experience that you
Mhm.
just testified to us on camera. And it takes a lot of courage to talk about it. Also,
Mhm.
like you're on your journey to achieving like it. And also the actions, like I cannot emphasize on the actions so much, because the actions you took, like even the 6 months you said you were living your life well,
Mhm.
you knew something was a bit off there. And
Surely, like
yeah.
I took 6 months to figure out.
Mhm.
So, and that was the phase where
Mhm.
I cried a lot.
Mhm.
I It was not only breakup, it was also my career. Why am
Mhm.
I here?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one more thing that was on
Mhm.
top of it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I cried a lot. I laughed a lot. I don't know what I was not in my mental state.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that's something I would say I was in that state of depression,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I made it well,
Yeah.
and here
Mm.
I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you took action, but what did you think? Like now, today, my question to you
Okay.
is, as someone who felt depressed, how is your mental state today?
Right now,
Yeah, I need to
my
ask.
mental state,
Mhm.
to be honest, uh, okay, my mental state right now is I'm going through some things. Okay,
Mm.
Mhm.
there are some things I'm going through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm gonna tell you, you just need that one experience to just that there's gonna be something in life that's gonna break you. Okay, and you just need one time. You just need to experience that once, and you'll be capable to deal with it again and
Mhm.
again. Like,
Mhm.
there might be things that you might be not liking in the beginning, but once you start how to deal with it,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because you we are human beings. Okay, we live the life, and every day we find new thing,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and every day is a
Yeah.
new day. Every day is gonna make new troubles. Every day is
Mhm.
gonna bring new things,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you just can't run away from it.
Yeah.
You need to be in reality.
Mhm.
Okay, and just focus on your things and keep doing it. That's what I told. Like, if even if you're going through hell, keep going, and only stop when you're done.
Yes.
Okay. And even right now, like, my mental state, there are some things going on,
Mhm.
but I know I'm enough mature now that
Mhm.
I have, if I have dealt through some things when I was a kid,
Mhm.
I can also deal with those things right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and there's gonna be every day there's gonna be something that's gonna knock your door.
Mhm.
Even if you like it or if you don't like it, you need to always open the door and at least see what it is.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, and always take things in it. Like, there are always two aspects of things, like either positive or negative,
Mhm.
and everybody has to see both of them.
Mhm.
I always see the positive one.
Mhm.
I don't care about the negative one. Let it be whatever it is.
Mhm.
I only go on the positive side.
Mhm.
And because if I go on the negative side, there's going to be something I would call procrastination, or there's something I would say I might be feeling anxiety of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I do is I only see positive things. And so if I'm thinking something good, I'm only going in a good mindset. I'm only thinking about good things.
Mhm.
And that's how I live now. And I'm, s- I'm, v- one more thing I've learned is be organized. Wake up early in the morning,
Yeah.
make your bed,
Yes.
make your bed. No matter what you're feeling, make your bed.
Mhm.
That's going to make you responsible. When you take shower, okay, everyone likes to take hot showers, okay, everybody, but in the end, take a cold shower. That's going to boost you up for the day. Yes, there's this is like my in December it's going to be like my 4th year in Canada, okay.
Mhm.
And uh, I have, like, after those 6 months or of 1 year in BC, after that, I've always taken a cold shower. Doesn't matter if I'm sick,
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's minus 20
Mm.
outside. I have always taken a cold shower. It just boosts me up, like it
Mhm.
makes me ready for the day,
Yeah.
because I don't know, I don't have that scientific term, but it
Yeah.
makes you ready for the day.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Wakes you up. It wakes you
Wakes you
up.
up or gets you a good blood circulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like those are little things, like you need those small wins, like making
Exactly.
your bed, like cooking food. Like for me, it's
Mhm.
cooking food. Like every morning I cook food, and it's like it sets my tone for the day. And like you say, like even having that challenging cold shower, like it's a challenge, but you're building up those small wins in your morning,
Yeah.
and it sets the tone for today. Like even for me, going to the gym in the morning, like at least I know, like today I just work out like 30 minutes, but I went there. Like this is what I can do today. Tomorrow I will do better.
Mhm.
And and now Sneha, like what's your take on depression, like
Yeah.
for you?
For me, I had a
Yeah.
really, really long and a really, like, I think that was the longest period of my life. Like, I let go of everything that I knew of myself for
Mhm.
1 year completely. I
Oh.
had no idea what was going on around me. I didn't talk to people. I didn't care for myself. I didn't eat properly. I don't know if at that, in that period, I didn't know if I was existing as a human being or not. It was completely dark. I was completely lost, and it was such a hard time. And at that moment, in that moment,
Mhm.
I didn't even know what was going on around me. It was big. For me, the trigger was, I always before that depressive
Mhm.
episode. Before that, I always had a outlook on life. I always had a, like, an idea. That's what I can say, an idea of what was going on around me and
Mhm.
what I am, and like what I want. But that was all a result of all the presumptions I had, and that one moment where everything crashed down,
Mhm.
and all the presumptions that I had are not true, and it's not me. And that's when I realized that it was very hard to understand, and I was completely lost. And it was really tough to come out of it, because I lost like, I didn't have any anchor to get me out again. So yeah, that was the toughest time. And I even if I think about it right now, it's very easy to give up, it's very easy to let go and give up everything, like, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. I didn't have anything to bring me up out of it. So, but, like, I've been for that was the longest period, right? And then one day I had to go, but I'm still a student. At that time I was studying.
Mm.
I'm still a student. And then I had to go, and I have to, like, I have to study, I have to pass my exams,
Mm.
and I have to give my finals at that time. And yeah, and I had to go out. I had to interact with
Mm.
people. If you see me in a daily life, you wouldn't know that I'm going through something like that. You wouldn't know that, okay, she has something going on. She has not been sh- she's not being herself. This is called something called highly functional depressive individual. I
Oh
was
wow.
that. I was completely depressed, but I was still functioning, as in, I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm still getting things done.
Yeah.
But and I mean, I felt like I was forced to do it, but because I'm a student and I pay a lot of fees at that time.
Mm.
So for me, what got me out was, um I failed my exams. Like, that was, I was an individual. For me, average is 80%, and I usually get 90%, and I've completely failed my exams. And my professors were like, we know you, what happened to you, why couldn't you ask for help? And at that moment, like, I could have asked for help, but I didn't even know that I could ask for help. Like, I didn't even know that help can be, I mean, I don't know, to ask for that help. I wasn't even in the right mindset to ask for help. So yeah, at that moment, I realized that I have completely let go of myself, and I need to do something about it. And that was a journey, my self realization and building myself up from nothing again, it started from there. And I think that was the reason. After coming to Canada, I promised myself that if I could get any kind of help, I will take it. And that's how I came to the wellness center, and that's how I met Kathy. And from then on, I have started my healing journey, but it's
Mm.
still going on. It's still going on, and still trying to not let go and not give up. And so, yeah, I being vulnerable to others and sharing my journey and what happened to me and how I realized self care and self love
Mhm.
and to be able to trust yourself uh, are such important things. And I've started doing that. I am still doing it, but
Mm.
yeah, it's it's tough.
It
It's really
is.
tough.
It is again, it's a very heart touching to hear.
Yeah.
Spending 1 year into having that disassociation with yourself,
Yes. Yeah.
like completely being a separate person, and like you say, a highly functional depressive person. That's first
Yeah.
time I hear that.
What was the
That
complete
word's still in
term?
my head, and I don't
Yeah.
really remember.
Can you
Yeah.
repeat it?
It's highly functional depressive. There are individuals like that, highly
Yeah.
functional anxiety person and highly functional depressive person. Like you are going through, like, there is a completely,
That's me.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's completely your inner person and the
Yeah.
person that you project out.
Yeah.
So the
That
person
that
that
that mask that
yeah,
you
that
wear.
mask.
I
Yeah.
see.
So
Yeah.
you have
Mhm.
that. And
Mhm.
towards outside,
Mhm.
there are signs. Obviously, if you look at them and if you observe them, there are obviously signs, like they are not talking as much, and the expressions, it's like, for me, it was complete apathy. Apathy is a term that we use when we are not feeling anything. Like, it's
Mhm.
a complete opposite of empathy. So yeah, when you're not feeling anything, that's what I went through. That was a very, very
Yeah.
hard, like, very hard stage for me to even think about it
Mhm.
back again. But yeah, so I talk about it during, like, for Thrive. I think that's what I did. I talk about it.
Yeah.
I am vulnerable in front of others to know that there are a lot of individuals going through it. There
Mhm.
are a lot of triggers to it. And it be it societal pressure, be it your academic success, or
Mhm.
like, you have lost direction on where you're going, why are you doing this, be it can be anything. But there are a lot of people around you going through the same thing, and talking about it and being vulnerable is one of the bravest and toughest things to do. But yeah, it can inspire someone. It can be
Yeah.
that helpful hand for someone to be able to know that you can get out of it. You can get out of it, and there are a lot of people like you. So
Yeah.
it's okay to not be okay.
For me, I like just all what you said. I disagree with your last point. It's okay to not be okay. I think life should
Uh-huh.
be cherished every moment. Like, it's not
Mhm.
okay to not be okay, because you should take action for what's not okay.
Uh-huh.
For me, and you guys didn't realize it, but you just gave me so much strength into like hearing your stories, like, and not stories, stories are not enough, but it's like your life. I just heard your life. You just spoke like what really who you are, like who is Neha, who is
Mm.
Daksh.
I
Yeah.
want to tell you something.
Yeah.
I have few friends, okay?
Mhm.
They are very depressed in life right
Mhm.
now. One of them has just came to Canada. Okay. And the other thing is, as you said that there are so many things you have realized later, okay?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Uh there was a time, okay? I was going through so many things at a time. When I
Mhm.
came to Kingston,
Mhm.
okay? Um I was going through a lot because
Mhm.
I didn't knew, like, I already left my college, university in British Columbia, came to a college doing advanced diploma of biotechnology rather than doing a bachelor's degree. And I was like, is my decision right, wrong? I don't know. There was that thing as well. And all this thing, you just remember, just made me remember a quote that is like, miles to go before I sleep, you know,
Yeah.
miles to go before I sleep. And so, what I tell my depressed friend right now, okay, or one of my other housemate who is depressed as well,
Mhm.
those two people, I'm a little close with them. They're like my best buddies,
Mhm.
sort of, okay?
Mhm.
I tell them one thing, that, see, I don't know what you are going through, okay? I I don't even want to know what you're going through. I just want you to say one thing, okay? And this is not for them. This is for everybody. This is for me as well. Because I take it in this way and that helped me. Life is gonna take you somewhere, or life is gonna teach you some things which you haven't learned before. That might be by breaking your heart, might be by breaking your dreams, shattering you away, and so many things. But I have seen my life in that way. Okay, so me coming here at the age of 18, okay, I was a guy who used to always live in fantasies, okay? I was like, oh, this is gonna be always good. But no, if you come to reality,
Yeah.
reality is like science, you know. Theory sounds really good, but experimental,
Yeah.
it never works.
Yeah.
Never ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was super impatient guy. Like I was like, I want this right now over here, like for sec. Biotechnology, I don't know if I want to continue it or not in future, but what biotechnology taught me, I'm in labs, okay? I need to wait for that centrifuge machine to spin around my tubes for an hour. I need to wait there. That taught me patience, you know? I had to wait for my results for if I'm doing a southern blot, I need to wait for that whole day to get that paper dyed. I don't, these are some scientific terms, sorry guys, but for my results to, I need to wait for some time, like, you know, and that taught me patience. So life is going to always teach you something, okay, some or the other thing which you never learned before. Like you as said that you didn't had that thing to accept that why that happened to you, you know, like where you were in US, but you later realized just on the 5th
3 years
October,
later.
yeah, 3
3
years
years
later.
later.
And you know
Yeah.
what, as you said, you made 4 journals. I want to add a star mark to it, star point to it, okay? On my 22nd birthday, on 3rd of October, my lucky number 3, okay? This time I celebrated my birthday in a very different way. So, yes, I did cut cakes, I did meet my friends, and I had posted lots of Instagram stories of my birthday and everything. But the thing I did was, I was like, I want to do something which is simple, which is going to teach me something, and which is going to be good for me. I made 22 rules for myself. Okay.
Yeah.
And I wrote it in piece of paper. And there are very simple rules like making my bed. I usually make it every day, but still, I want to put that as a rule that I don't know what I am like. Even if I'm broke, even if my legs broke, even if my hands broken, I need to make my bed because that's my duty. Okay. Cleaning my room or sweeping my room. Like we are students over here, and sometimes we won't be organized. But that's one of the rule. I know it's very basic, doesn't make sense, but it makes to me because that's a sort of discipline. And you know, if you're disciplined, you're gonna go to places. You're gonna go places, and that's how it is. And if my room's not organized, my head's not organized. So I
Yeah.
keep my room organized so my head is.
So, so let's talk about.
Let's bring joy to this podcast.
Let's bring
now,
joy.
okay?
Yeah.
Let's bring joy. It's been lots of emotional talk.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I want to go and see Kathy once this is done. I want to go and see Kathy. Hey Kathy, I'm a big fan. Kathy, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, she gives the best hugs out there. I can tell you that she gives the best hugs.
Second best.
There's
I gave the best hugs.
there's one
Yeah.
more person I want to
Yeah.
talk about support system, right?
Yeah.
There's a guy I mentioned him before, Aditya Modi. Okay, we both left that university. Okay, he went to one of the British Columbia islands, like Victoria Island. Okay, it's called Nanaimo. Right, it's Nanaimo. That's
Yeah.
what the place is. And I'm here, and we both left the university, and we both talk every day, and we both relate to each other so much. Like, for example, if I'm having a bad day, that guy's having a bad day already over there. He's calling me, or either I'm calling him, and we always relate to each other, and we get inspired from each other. You know,
Yeah.
like for example, this summer I wanted to work like 65, 70 hours. So I was like, hey, I'm doing this much work and I'm tired. And that guy is like, yeah, I'm doing that too. And I just want to tell you that let's keep doing it. And you know, that small talks. And I appreciate that guy so much. Full of joy.
Full of joy, as you say, and you know, like since me opening up about my depression, like
Mhm.
since October 5th, like with my mom, and I've been just thriving, like it's not big wins. I'm not saying I'm like the
Uh-huh.
happiest person in the
Uh-huh.
world,
Yeah.
but my support system it's selfish and maybe egoistical. It's myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's like I'm becoming best friend with that dude. Hey, I'm awesome. Like I'm great, and more people are talking to me. Like when I said it to my classmates, and my classmates are approaching me like, "Hey, I'm not feeling well actually. Like
Mhm.
like this is happening in my life." And I think if I didn't openly start saying things like that,
Mhm.
people like would keep it to themselves. Like I need to hustle through.
Mhm.
I need to to resist that. No, let it go. Like letting it go. And
Mhm.
finally, like, and my support system, apart from myself, of course, like no, it's you, because you need to be your best supporter.
Yes.
You need to support yourself, like
Mhm.
encourage you, give you that. Hey, why not? I'm going to do it, and you're going to do it.
Mhm.
You're going to make it happen. Good result or bad, no worries, you did it. That's
Mhm.
it. At least you tried. And my support systems in Canada really have been the SA, the Student Association.
Yes.
For me, like, even the courses being challenging to me, learning new skills, redoing my career, it's a huge challenge.
Mhm.
You knew like your career was going to be in hospitality, but it changed. But like working at the SA, it's my first job after so many years, like two
Uh-huh.
years after. It's like it's my first job, not related to hospitality, and I was working back again. I was proud to get that job of a podcast.
Mhm.
I'm earning money again,
Mhm.
so I'm working for it. So for me, doing that podcast is like, yeah, I have a meaning. I
Mhm.
have a meaning. So I have to do it for whoever's watching, whoever's listening. I have also my colleagues who believe in me. Like they say me like, Sean, you've taken that podcast to like make it happen. Really make
Uh-huh.
it something which
Uh-huh.
needs to be done. And I really like that my colleagues see that value in me, because
Yes.
like I just read a graph this morning on LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
You spent most of your life with your colleagues, so make it a good environment. If
Yes.
ever, like, and right now you're spending most of your time with your classmates, make it
Uh-huh.
a good environment,
Uh-huh.
because you will be spending so many years. I don't know how many years you're here, but make it the best
Yeah.
environment you are right now.
Yes.
And my over support system would be my mom, like my mom, my dad, my stepdad. They are great support system. We told a lot of stories also, but I say the part of taking action. Thank you for reminding me, Sneha. How do I beat my depression? Like what are things which I can do today?
Uh-huh.
Like if you're listening to this today, you're depressed. What do I do, Sean? I listen to your story. I listen to that story, Sneha. But what do I do? My story is different from yours. Depression doesn't come in one template.
Yes.
It's for each person. It's different.
Yes.
For me, really, like, was to have that hard conversation,
Yes.
with people you have the deepest connection.
Mhm.
Like my mom, my dad,
Mhm.
talk about new things. Like, hey, like we usually talk about things, what happened and
Mhm.
everything,
Yeah.
and everything in life. But now I want to keep that deep conversation,
Uh-huh.
which I needed to have years ago. Talk about that. Second is, like those small wins that Dirk said,
Uh-huh.
making your bed,
Uh-huh.
having that cold shower, cooking
Yes.
food. For me, also, it's like that. I start my day like that.
Mhm.
And also working out, what you eat, for
Mhm.
me, eating, I realize like for me, I'm so weak when I eat processed food
Uh-huh.
and sugar. So I started taking this step this year. Like in January, I started cooking, and I've eaten in the calf just like 4 times probably
Uh-huh.
this year. And that's last year I ate like every day
Mhm.
in the calf. So that's a big milestone. So it
Mhm.
changed a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cook food for myself. Now I'm like really taking it another level, because I know I have like anxiety with my physical look. So I need to look
Mhm.
great. For
Mhm.
me, that's who I am. I'm not happy being like overweight, or like being not comfortable with my skin.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
not who I am. I've always been athletic. I've always
Mhm.
been to sports. So I need to be who I am. So I say,
Mhm.
yeah, let's stop the sugar. Let's cook more
Mhm.
healthily.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
cannot emphasize how much, like, just those 5 days without sugar, I have so much clarity.
Mhm.
I have that bit more energy than I
Mhm.
used to, and it's great. So, and sleep, like
Uh-huh.
sleep,
I
and
wish.
you need to, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, my sleep is so bad. Okay,
mine is too.
I so I have friends. Okay, in my house I have friends. That friend sleeps like, so she has already got like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay,
Yeah.
after coming back from her work, she can sleep for like 2 more hours, and after that she can be go to bed again and sleep. I'm like, you know, buddy, you're so lucky. So I have one thing. If I go to bed, okay, if I close my eyes,
Mhm.
I'm already sleeping.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I won't open my eyes until it's morning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That's
when
good.
I wake up, of course, like normal youngsters or normal us, I check my phone. Everybody does. Okay,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I check my phone for like 2 minutes, not more than that,
Mhm.
to shut off my alarm or to see any cricket scores or soccer updates or
Mhm.
something,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or see my dad's message or something or my mom's message.
Mhm.
Close my phone, get up off the bed,
Mhm.
and even now, if you come to my home, okay,
Mhm.
this is a habit my mom gave it to me, and I'm super grateful to her as well. So, mom, it's time to be grateful to you now. So the thing is that, uh, in my house, I had a habit that, I had a big couch in my main hall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So back in India, so I used to always sleep on it, and my mom was like, "Hey, you can't be lazy, okay? If you wanna be home,
Mhm.
just sit. You know,
Mhm.
you'll be more active." And that's how I started doing things. And right now, I have a habit. I cannot, like lie down with, if I'm not like
Mhm.
my friends, when they talk, they can either lie down on couch and they
Yeah.
can be there whole day. They can
Mhm.
lie down on their bed and do all this
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
I cannot lie down, Sean. I cannot.
Mm.
I mean, yes, if you come to my home, you will never see me lie down until and unless I'm sleeping. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
never ever. There might be time if I'm playing a video game, I might be lying down for like 20 minutes or
Mhm.
15 minutes.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
no, there's no way I'm lying down. I'm
Mhm.
to sit. I like sitting,
Mhm.
either walking or I'm just sleeping.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
how I am. And
Mhm.
I cannot sleep more than,
Mhm.
even on my vacations, or like the highest I can sleep right now is like
Mhm.
7. And
That's good.
that
7 is good.
that too on the days I don't have work.
Yeah.
Other days 6, 5. 5 is
You're
my
you're in
5
the
is my
moderate zone.
Yeah.
5 is my normal.
I was sleeping 3 to 4 hours last year, man.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
me when I was new over here.
Yeah.
But after that, I cannot sleep more than 5 hours right now on normal days, like 5.5, and the highest I can go is 7.
Mhm.
Because if I'm waking up late, I get stressed that I haven't done anything.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
like, if I wake up at 9 for any reason, oh my god, I'll be stressed.
Mhm.
I know, even if I have nothing to do, I'm like, I'm stressed. I haven't done anything. Even if I have nothing to do, that's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But I'm okay.
One thing I think about sleep is the mindset that you have for it. Some people are like, oh, if I get more than like if I get 4 hours of sleep, I think I am functioning really well. I'm doing a
Yeah.
lot of things. So, but it affects your body, it affects
Yeah.
your mental health, it
It does
affects
a lot.
everything. Yeah. So the one thing that you do when you asleep is your brain is getting ready for
Mhm.
your next day. So it's always important to get that sleep, and it's okay if you get if you get 5 hours, 6 hours, however hours you get, like be okay with it and be like try to get more sleep.
Mhm.
Like 4 hours is the minimum, but try to get more than
Mhm.
that. And yeah,
Trying.
yeah, try and get
Yeah.
more than that
I don't have problem sleeping. That's thing
That's
which I
that's me as well.
I'm so
But
tired that
yeah.
okay, as soon as I get on the bed, like boom.
I'm
Ah,
so
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how I am. But my sleep hours are small. But my
Yeah.
sleep is good. Like once I'm at bed, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I think I get like proper 4 hours, and whatever I'm getting after or before, it's all full of dreams and it's all full of thoughts. Like, yeah,
I
I do
love dreams.
meditation a lot.
And I tried for a few times, but for me, I'm like I don't have time for it. Like it's really like I would love to, but like just the thought of me not thinking about anything and breathing, it gives me anxiety.
No,
Like
that's the key for the meditation. You
yeah,
concentrate on one thing. You don't
yeah.
concentrate on everything, and you concentrate on that one thing, and you
I
try
want
and
to,
breathe.
but like it's really something which I'm like, how do I make my brain do that? Like to actually me knowing I have so much things to do
Uh-huh.
and sitting there for an hour doing nothing is like, oh my god, it's like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It can't be that long.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't think 1 hour meditation.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think any of this
Just
that
15
we
minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
10 minutes,
Do you do
15
it?
minutes. Yeah.
Oh,
For
yeah.
me, before going to sleep, because my sleep is very disturbed. I have a lot of kind of like
Mhm.
nightmares, and sometimes I get sleep paralysis. Like once,
Oh.
yeah, it's kind of like really scary.
Mhm.
So for me, yoga, I used to do yoga. Now I am very disappointed in myself. I'm not doing it anymore,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm trying to adjust now. Anyways, meditation is something that helped me out a lot. Like at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
And I hope like this podcast you found, I don't know, like somewhere a light,
Uh-huh.
a pathway that at least, hey, I need to get started. This is how do I like manage my depression?
Uh-huh.
How it's going to be a long road ahead, but hey, I'm going to embrace it now. So whether you find value in it, I hope that you 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 get out of it if ever you're feeling something. So thank you for Daksh and Sneha for coming
Mhm.
on the podcast. And what do you have to say, like like to our student
Um,
watching, like as closing?
I just want to say a big thank you for listening to us. And other thing, I mean, be kind, be happy. World is full of surprises. It's gonna, as I told earlier, that every day there's gonna be something that's gonna knock your doors, like every single day. But you just cannot, you don't know if it's gonna be a good or bad. Just open your door and deal with it. If it's good, enjoy it. If it's bad, have some experience. It's gonna be, life is exciting. Just live in it and just be real, be who you are,
Mhm.
and be close with someone. Either
Mhm.
it might be someone elder, either it might be your parent, either it might be
Mhm.
your brother, sister, sibling, cousin, friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. But
Mhm.
life is exciting, and
Yeah.
I love it,
Mm.
and everyone should.
Yeah.
And there might be times you might not like what you're doing, or you might not think what you are capable of or something,
Mhm.
but you can definitely do it. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, life's gonna take you places where either either you want, or either life wants you to be. So just live in it. And if uh, if you believe in some energies, then believe in it. If you believe in God, then just pray for it. I mean, I'm a big believer in God, and I think, I don't know, I'm grateful to everything. Be grateful for every single thing. If you wake up, be grateful that you woke up. If you go to bed, be grateful that you're sleeping and it was a great day. Just push yourself. Just always. There might be times there might be no one to tap or pat your back. Just nourish yourself, respect yourself, recognize yourself, highlight yourself, love yourself, and be yourself. Everything is nice. World is beautiful, and I'm getting way more knowledgeable, but I'm not. But it's exciting. Just live in it, guys. That's what I want to say. Yeah.
And for you, Sneha?
One thing I want to say is I'm glad that whoever is watching is are still here watching us, and I'm grateful for each and every one of the people here and for letting me talk. And I want to say one thing: be kind to yourself.
Mhm.
Be kind to yourself. It might not be easy. You might have to go through a lot of a lot of changes, but be kind to yourself. Trust yourself. Love yourself. If you are doing that first, if you are kind and loving to yourself, you can project that outward as well. If you're not doing that to yourself and you're trying to project it, that's not going to help anyone. Be kind to yourself. That is what I want to say.
My last words would be, like whatever we told is our real story, and I hope that you found yourself somewhere in that story, if ever you feel that way, and yeah, just embrace, accept that everything in life is not beautiful. Also, like life is beautiful, like Doc said, but accepting the reality is better than living in a fantasy. And the sooner you accept that reality, the more you're going to enjoy the reality of what the world is. When you accept that reality, you accept that suffering, and then you decide to play the game of to hit that suffering back. Now you're going to, like, fight back and make every move you do, like, is going to be great, like, really, like, and you're going to make mistakes, but you will learn from them. And
Mhm.
like, when you're taking action, like, take action for yourself, like,
Mhm.
find that support system,
Mhm.
talk about it,
Mhm.
talk about it, be courageous, talk about it,
Mhm.
start making a plan and start working that plan, like, and any challenge which you face it, don't collapse again, don't say, oh, this is the end. No, this is the where you get tested with your mental fortitude. Like,
Mhm.
go for it, but accept it, accept your situation, and move on, turn a fresh page. And this is the fresh page. So thank you, and again, have an amazing week.
Yeah.
At us all, see. Bye bye.
Bye bye,
Goodbye.
guys.